it's Loopy, and today I'm taking you behind the scenes on how I made these fluffy fingerless mittens. I found these random assortment of yarns in my stash and I wanted to use them up. So I thought, why not make some cute mittens to fight the cold autumn air? Just get whatever piece of paper you have laying around and a pencil. I started tracing around my hand to get a base to sketch my designs on. Looking back, I think I should have cut my nails before I started tracing. My drawing looked really wonky. Here are some things I wanted for my knitted mittens. I wanted my mittens to be fingerless, so it's perfect for the transitioning seasons. I wanted layers so there's some depth. I thought some fingerless mittens could look a bit basic, and I wanted a little something something, you know? I really wanted an interesting pair of mitts, so mixed textures were a huge must for this project. I didn't want to stick to one type of stitch, so I'm sprinkling in some double crochets, half double crochets, and whatnot. Fall and winter wear can look really plain and cold, so I thought I'd sprinkle in some scallop stitches to add a touch of daintiness to the mitts. I thought I'd use the white yarn for the base, the fluffy mink yarn for the cuffs and thumb hole, and the purple yarn for the edging and piping around the thumb hole. For the stitches I'm using, I thought I'd use the yarn over slip stitch for a stretchy base, some chain stitches and back loop only action for some more depth and interest, and finally the scallop stitches because I can. Just kidding. The scallop stitches are there for a pop of color and some texture to the mitts. Initially, I was going to use the same stitch for the base and the cuff, but I opted to use plain double crochets instead. The faux mink yarn would have definitely made it a nightmare to do, and I don't hate myself that much. So let's see the finished prototype. So the finished mitten pretty much came out the way I wanted it to, but I did make some changes, particularly in the cuff area and the thumb hole. Here's the rundown. The plain white yarn is still the base, the faux mink fur was still used around the cuffs and the thumb hole, and the purple yarn was used for the outlines. And here's the final look. Ta-da! As you can see, everything is pretty much the same as our initial drawing. The cute scallop stitches are still here, slaying, except for the thumb hole. I replaced that part with the wrap single crochet because it just fit better with smaller stitch space. Honestly, I really love that I chose this stitch because it came out so perfectly. Here's what it looks like worn. It came out so nice. The mink yarn feels so fluffy and soft, the scallop stitch is adorable, and it feels really warm on my hand. You can even flip it upside down so the longer, fluffy side covers your fingertips. Ready to make one for yourself? Let's get started. Start with measuring from the edge of your wrist to where your fingers start. This part is optional. You can just follow my measurements instead if you like. Mine is 4 inches long, so I made 21 chains. Now we will do the yarn over slip stitches. To make this, you will yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, and then go through both loops. Let's do that again. Yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, then go through both loops on your hook. Not sure if you can clearly see it on camera, but this stitch makes an almost knit-like finish along the fabric. Just repeat this for the following stitches until the end of the row. Then chain 1 and turn your work. Make more yarn over slip stitches along the back loops only for the second row. Keep making yarn over slip stitches on the back loops only until your fabric is long enough to wrap around your hand. Mine's about 9 inches for some seam allowance. And here it is. As you can see, it can wrap around my palm. Once you're satisfied, leave a long yarn tail and cut. Mark down where your thumb hole will go using your stitch markers, or some safety pins if you don't have stitch markers. I made the space below my thumb a bit smaller than the space where my fingers will go. I'm just hiding the shorter yarn tail ahead. You can save this part for later, but I personally hate sewing ends, so I figured I'd eat the frog now, so to speak. Now take your long yarn tail and just make mattress stitches along the edges of your fabric. You can use whatever stitching you prefer. I'm just using this one because I'm a bit lazy. Just make sure to skip over the thumb hole by weaving your needle over and under one side. Then continue sewing the edges together. Make 2 knots at the end to secure your stitching. Again, I'm weaving the tail so I have less to do at the end. Let's make the scallop stitches. Start by making chain stitches in multiples of 3 along the top edge of your fabric. The scallop pattern I made uses 3 stitch sequences, hence the very specific number of chain stitches. Don't make your chain stitches too tight while you work. You still want your mitten to have that small bit of stretch when you put it on. I'm leaving the full clip of this edge just so you can get a better look at what I'm doing. I have 36 chain stitches in the end. Yours might be more or less, but that's fine. Just make sure it's in the multiples of 3. We're working in the back loops only. Slip stitch, then inside the next stitch, make a single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. Then go over to the next stitch and make a double crochet, half double crochet, and a single crochet. Then go to the next stitch and make a slip stitch. Repeat all the stitches inside the asterisks. The stitches inside the asterisk is the 3-stitch pattern I was referring to a while ago. The stitches inside the brackets mean that they are made inside 1 stitch. This is how your first edge should look like. Like last time, I'm finishing off and hiding my tails ahead. You can definitely leave this for later, I just wanted it out of the way. Just repeat the scallop stitches for the other edge. Try to keep the number of slip stitches even so your scallops are uniform. Your mitten should look something like this by now. It's time for the thumb hole. I made the same chain stitches around the thumb hole and ended up with a total of 20 stitches. And I finished off and tied the 2 yarn tails together underneath to secure them. Here's how it looks. Now it's time to make the wrap single crochet. Connect your yarn to any back loops with the chain stitches. Make an unfinished single crochet. Wrap the yarn around both loops, then yarn over and go through both loops on your hook. Do this again on the next stitch. Make an unfinished single crochet. Wrap the yarn over both loops. Yarn over and go through both loops on your hook. This technique creates a neat yet textured edge to your thumb hole. Slip stitch to the first stitch and hide your yarn tail. Let's add the fluffy edges. Take your fluffy yarn and attach it to one side of your mitten. Then make one double crochet inside each stitch around the edge of your mitten. Keep a slightly loose and even tension as you make your double crochets. I'll keep the full clip here so you can see how I'm making the stitches. Once you reach the end, slip stitch into the first double crochet. Our mitten is coming along well. Make sure to try your mitten on every now and then to admire amazing work. Back to the pattern. It's time to cut your yarn tail and hide the tail. What I really like about textured yarn like this is that it's really easy to hide. See? It's as if it never existed. Now for the cuffs. You're going to need stitch markers here. Attach your yarn to the cuff side of your mitten and make a double crochet in each stitch around. Except for this round, you will put a stitch marker after every double crochet you make. Slip stitch the first double crochet of the row. For the next row, add a new stitch marker to the first double crochet for the row. For the rest of the double crochets, just move the stitch marker up from the previous row. Repeat this for the rest of the rows for the cuff. I ended up making 4 rows for the cuff so it fits snugly around my wrist. As you can see, the stitch markers really helped me with indicating where the new stitches should go into and how many rows I made. The thumb hole is pretty easy. You just make one row of fluffy double crochets around the opening. Remember the 2 yarn tails I tied up a while ago? Well, we're going to take advantage of the yarn's fluffiness by crocheting over them with the mink yarn. Slip stitch at the first stitch of the row and hide the final yarn tail. Just repeat the pattern for the other mitten and you're done. And now you have your own fluffy scallop mittens. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Feel free to use any color combinations you want. Subscribe for more.